On August 8, 2021, the city of Bayonne imploded two buildings on a land site formerly known as the Military Ocean Terminal. The demolition of these two structures is due to an effort to make way for new development in an area that has been dormant for 20 years. Let's start from the beginning. The city of Bayonne constructed the Bayonne Port Terminal in the 1930s. During World War II, the U.S. Navy took over the terminal, expanded it, and constructed the buildings of the Bayonne Naval Supply Depot. Buildings 32 and 42 on the base were made of bomb-proof materials. The Army took over the facility in 1967, renamed it the Military Ocean Terminal, and ran it until it closed in 1999.
We're standing at the far eastern edge of the peninsula at Bayonne Harbor. This location used to be known as the Military Ocean Terminal Bayonne, or MOTBY. This was created, this landfill that juts out into New York Harbor was created right around World War II for the military to create an installation for shipping and receiving of all kinds of materials and supplies, starting with obviously World War II in the 1940s. There's a dry dock right in front of us that at one time used to be the largest dry dock on the East Coast. It's still in use today, even though the military has basically turned this whole entire peninsula over to the city of Bayonne back around the turn of this century, right around 1999 or 2000. The city of Bayonne took possession of this former military ocean terminal. The ground that we're standing on now is a memorial for September 11th. As you could see, just past us is the Freedom Tower and the New York City skyline. And a Russian artist back in the mid-2000s dedicated this teardrop memorial to the city of Bayonne and to all the people who died on that day, September 11th, 2001. So this location is a very, very important piece of property for the city of Bayonne. This peninsula that sits on another peninsula. Bayonne itself is a peninsula. This peninsula juts out, like as I stated, into New York Harbor. So over the past few years, there's been some development going on, and as of late, there is a very large piece of property that is being developed right now for a large warehouse facility that's going to be built. Part of that process included taking down two very large buildings that were erected around 1940. These two buildings, one Building 42 and Building 32. Building 42 was a 7-story, 200 by 600 building, and Building 32, which stood just to the east of 42, is a 6-story, also 200 by 600 building. These buildings were built very solidly to withstand a direct bomb hit. So in order to take these buildings down, the contractors that are doing the work to clear way for this new warehouse need to implode them tomorrow, Sunday, August 8th. Many, many months of preparation is going to come to a head when the contractors set to implode and bring these two very large buildings down. When we first learned that the process to take these buildings down was going to be done by implosion, Mayor Jimmy Davis came to me and told me two things that were obviously very important. One, he said, this work that we're doing now is very, very important to the city of Bayonne and to this region. And the other more critical thing that he wanted to discuss with me was the importance of safety for all of the people that were involved in this process, and obviously for every resident and citizen of Bayonne. You know, as we take these buildings down, we're going to be using over 10,000 pounds of dynamite, or the contractor is going to be using that much dynamite to implode these buildings. So the effort to do this work has been, up to this point, extremely challenging, to say the least, right? We have to coordinate across many, many different groups, and I'm going to list some of these groups who I've been working with in order to make tomorrow a possibility. Obviously, besides the contractors that are involved, we have the Bayonne Office of Emergency Management, which is the lead agency. We have the Bayonne Police Department, the Bayonne Fire Department, McCabe Emergency Medical Services. We have the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey Police Department, Port Authority OEM, Port Authority Port Operations. We have the United States Coast Guard. We have the Jersey City OEM. We have the New Jersey State Police OEM. We have New Jersey State Police Marine Unit. We have the New Jersey Fireboat Task Force. We have the FDNY. We have Suez Water, Public Service Electric and Gas, and others. Many, many groups have been coming together over the last few months to prepare for tomorrow's implosion. So all of that work went on, and then obviously the actual bringing of the explosives into the city of Bayonne. Last week we had to arrange that work. That was quite an undertaking when you're bringing 10,000 pounds of explosives into a city. And then once it was here, we had to ensure that it was safeguarded very well, which it was. The Bayonne Police Department did an outstanding job up until this point in ensuring the safety and security of all of the dynamite, det cord, and blasting caps. That's been down here under very, very close supervision of the Bayonne Police Department and the Bayonne Fire Department. There was work that was done. We've had to deal with the infrastructure, the water, and the electricity. A couple of weeks ago, we had to shut the water off to this whole end of the peninsula, which includes the dry dock. We have the Royal Caribbean Cruise Port with cruise ships will be starting up in the next couple of weeks here. So there's some activity going on over here. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is also down at this end of the peninsula. So these entities, we had to ensure their ability to continue to work. We expect to see a very large group of people that we hope are going to line up along the walkway that sits across the channel by the Bayonne Golf Club. There's a walkway adjacent to the Bayonne Golf Club. We're sure that many Bayonne residents are going to want to come and see this historic moment. We have many people that are going to be here on the peninsula itself. The company Lincoln Equities that owns this property, they've got a very large list of people that they've invited, besides the dignitaries and workers and stuff. They'll be down here. And then obviously the first responders, right? So we have quite a large task force in place beginning at 2 o'clock in the morning. This whole area at this end of the peninsula is going to be pretty much shut off. We are going to enact an exclusion zone. Nobody will be allowed in or out of here, so that anybody that's down here, once again, we have to deploy resources. The Bayonne Fire Department is going to deploy numerous resources down here in case of a fire, and nobody from the mainland will be able to come in and assist. They'll be pretty much here with a whole array of fire boats and marine assistance on the waterfront coming to assist if we do have a fire. We have McCabe EMS here. They'll be standing by in case there's a medical emergency so that we can take care of anybody at the dry dock. So we have, like I said, many, many, many partners that have been working side by side. And as Bayonne Office of Emergency Management, under the direct supervision of the Public Safety Director, Robert Kubert, as I stated earlier, our mandate is to ensure the safety and security of every single person that's down here, resident or not, who's ever down here working and going to be part of this event tomorrow. We have to make sure that they're safe, and then obviously the 65,000+ residents of the city of Bayonne and the surrounding area, we have to ensure their safety. So we are working around the clock to make tomorrow a success, and we surely hope that at 10:30 when they hit that button, that we have a safe and successful implosion of these buildings to make way for the new large warehouse that's coming.
Over the past 6 months, the City of Bayonne Police Department, Chief Geisler, Traffic Unit, Office of Emergency Management, Port Authority, many other entities that are responsible for this area have been working closely together in order to ensure that this work zone is set up safely, that everything will go smoothly, that every contingency has been thought out and planned for. We have worked very hard to do this. We have worked very well together. We fully expect that this operation will go off without a hitch, and at the end of the day, we'll be moving forward with the redevelopment of the City of Bayonne.
Good morning, everyone. Just to let you know, today, this is what we call progress here on the peninsula. This is where we blow up 2 bomb-proof buildings that were built in the 1940s during World War II. And this is our promise that we made to the city 7 years ago. We were going to develop the city and bring this city jobs once again. And today is paramount on what's going to happen with bringing the jobs to the city of Bayonne. And I want to thank Mr. Bergstein and Lincoln Equities for everything that they've done for us. And they're the ones that are blowing up our buildings today, along with Control Services.
So
Mr. Bergstein, thank you.
This has really been a partnership with the city of Bayonne. This is not possible, without the cooperation of obviously the mayor's office, but the planning board, all your engineers. And we're proud to be part of this. We're happy to tell you that we have UPS coming to the peninsula, which will produce 1,800 jobs. There are thousands of construction jobs that are going to be produced, as a result of the development of this site. And these buildings coming down are symbolic, as you said, is to the progress that Bayonne and your leadership has demonstrated.
Again, I want to thank everybody, and this was our promise, was to develop the city and then bring jobs into the city. And this is just the beginning of the part of bringing jobs to our city for our residents.
This project, the implosion of these buildings, was really a milestone project within the city of Bayonne, a large undertaking that was coordinated by the Office of Emergency Management. The Bayonne Fire Department worked very closely with OEM coordinator in both the planning and operations of the implosion of this building. An emergency scene of this size takes a lot of planning behind the scenes, and the fire department was heavily involved from day one. The aspects of the fire department that were involved was really the Fire Prevention Bureau to ensure the proper planning and permits and all the explosives were transported safely, and then operationally the day of the implosion and the days just prior to it. The Fire Prevention Bureau, under the leadership of Sean Boyle, not only monitored the transportation of the large amount of explosives into the city of Bayonne, but also monitored their presence here to make sure they were safe, and also monitored the pre-planning. Operationally, in the days leading up to the implosion and the day of, we had pre-positioned forces, firefighting forces,
both on land and in sea in case something did not go as planned. On the west side of the peninsula at the command post area, we brought in additional command and control chiefs to safely plan and coordinate the large amount of fire department personnel that were on the scene. And also deployed on the eastern end was a task force of 2 fire engines, a fire ladder, and also boats from the New Jersey Marine Task Force who would be able to supply water in the event that the water mains were damaged by the implosion. So all this was really coordinated by our command chiefs and the Office of Emergency Management. And we're proud to say that this project was really a success. It was done safely, efficiently, and we look forward to a new day here at the MOT.
This was a very, very, very proud moment for the city of Bayonne. This historic implosion of these 2 mammoth buildings with a lot of history behind them from World War II in the 1940s finally came down after decades of not seeing any human interaction. Finally came down to make way for this super large warehouse that's going to transform this entire area. This is, as the mayor stated, this is very big for the city of Bayonne, for the entire region, what's going to go on here now with this new almost 1 million square foot warehouse that's going to come. But I think what I'm most proud of is the fact that all of the groups came together and worked seamlessly. I mean, these people are pros, real pros, to ensure the safety of everybody that was down here working and ensure the safety of all the residents of the city of Bayonne and the surrounding area. So as you can see, the implosion was a success. These large, massive, bomb-proof buildings did come down with the right amount of dynamite, and it's a very good day for the city of Bayonne. Very thankful.
As Mayor Davis stated earlier, his vision of redeveloping Bayonne with new residential units and good jobs for our community is coming to fruition with projects such as this. Over the last 7 years, Bayonne has seen many residential units being developed within the peninsula at Bayonne Harbor and along the New Jersey Transit light rail route. According to Census 2020, Bayonne now has over 71,000 residents, and this indicates the largest population increase in our city since the 1920s. We look forward to the continued rebirth of our great city.